This is a box of gourmet Christmas morning cereal from Dominique Ansel's bakery, and it costs $30. And if you want to get it shipped to you, you have to order a minimum of 2 boxes. It's made with chocolate-covered caramelized Rice Krispies, caramelized hazelnuts, and mini smoked cinnamon meringues. I really love the idea of a ridiculously decadent dessert cereal, and I've been curious to try some, but I can't really justify the cost. Luckily, it's one of the recipes in Dominique Ansel's The Secret Recipes book, so back in December I made some. In fact, while I was at it, I made 3 batches at the same time because I wanted to have lots left over to give as gifts to our friends and neighbors. If you'd like to try it out for yourself, I'll put a link to the Secret Recipes cookbook in the description below. I'll start by making the milk chocolate cereal by evenly coating a ton of Rice Krispies in corn syrup and then tossing it in some granulated sugar. This gets spread out on a couple of baking sheets and toasted in a 340-degree Fahrenheit oven until it's all nicely caramelized. I'm setting it aside to cool while I melt about 2/3 of the milk chocolate the recipe calls for, and then stirring in the remaining third until it's all melted. Dominique says this will temper the chocolate, but I'm not sure it worked in my case. Though since it's just being used to coat cereal, I'm okay with it as is, and I'm just going to go ahead and mix it into the Rice Krispies. Once the cereal is all coated with the chocolate, it gets spread out on a couple of clean baking sheets and popped in the fridge for a couple hours to set. The caramelized hazelnuts are really easy to make. You just toss blanched hazelnuts and some corn syrup and granulated sugar and toast them in the oven until golden brown, just like the milk chocolate cereal. I made my own blanched hazelnuts because they're pretty expensive when you can even find them. I show you how to make your own blanched hazelnuts in my Perry breast video. Finally, the mini cinnamon meringues, which Dominique Ansel calls mini-me's. In the book, the recipe calls for regular cinnamon, but they use smoked cinnamon at the bakery. Actually, quite a few of the recipes I want to make from the book use smoked cinnamon, and I had a hard time finding any anywhere, so I made some of my own in another video. Unlike most meringue recipes I've ever made, this one uses powdered sugar. It's a Swiss meringue, so the sugar and egg whites get whisked over a pan of simmering water until it reaches 113 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm whipping it to stiff peaks, then putting it in a piping bag fitted with a medium round tip and piping about 1,000,000 tiny meringue kisses on a baking sheet. These get baked at just 200 degrees Fahrenheit until they're completely dried out, which took me about 45 minutes. Finishing the cereal is a simple matter of just mixing all the components together. At least it's a simple matter when you're just making one batch. My 3 batches wouldn't fit in any of my bowls or pots, so I had to mix 2 of the batches in a large roasting pan and then mix the 3rd batch separately in a large bowl before combining them all together. So, was it worth the effort? At the time of filming, a 330-gram box of this cereal from Dominique Ansel's bakery cost $30 US. My 3 batches were about 3.5 kilograms in all, and cost me about 54 Canadian dollars to make, which was about $44 US at the exchange rate at the time. A serving of cereal is around 35 grams, so 1 serving of mine costs only 44 cents, whereas from the bakery, 1 serving would cost $3.18. To be fair, my costs don't include packaging, labor, or any other overhead costs. Also, at the bakery, they use caramelia to coat the cereal, which is a specialty and expensive caramelized chocolate. I just used the cheapest milk chocolate I could find. I have no idea how the recipe in the book compares to the real thing, but the cereal I made tastes amazing, especially in a bowl of milk, which just slightly melts the meringues, but they still stay crunchy somehow. It's not nearly as sweet as I was expecting, but in a good way. The caramelized nuts and Rice Krispies really balance out the sweetness of the meringues. This was absolutely worth making myself, and it's going to become a new Christmas tradition around here. Maybe if this channel ends up becoming successful one day, I'll treat myself to a box of the real thing and see how it compares to the recipe in the book. So, you know, please subscribe to my channel and like this video and stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching.